Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Venus will make its move in Capricorn very soon. And when Venus goes in Capricorn, it will join Mars once again, whereas Mars is exalt in Capricorn zodiac sign. What is this transit? What is so special about this Venus transit? Because this time Venus is with Mars in an exalted position, and this kind of gives a lot of power to the energies of Venus. Although Venus in Capricorn is like Venus in the afternoon and Venus in a very strongly masculine placement, but the presence of Mars kind of charges this Venus. It creates passion in relationship. It creates passion and enthusiasm in your field of work. In your mind, you would want to do so many things, especially if you are associated with creative fields. Let's discuss briefly what this transit has in store for us. But before that, do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share the video among family and friends. And if you want to take consultations, you can drop me an email, and for other social media platforms, you can follow me there. The link is in the description box below. So let's start a brief analysis of Venus transit in Capricorn. So Venus is the lord of Taurus and Libra zodiac sign. If it goes in Capricorn, its placement is 9th from Taurus and 4th from Libra. So if you see, the position of Venus with respect to its own zodiac sign is actually quite good. Now, with respect to Taurus, if it is 9th, it is going to fulfill the dharma of Taurus. And what is the dharma of Taurus? You have to focus more on the securities of life. Mars and Venus combination with exalted energies of Mars would want you to focus more on your financial security, your family security. It wants you to get rid of fear, and it's a great time to fight your fear, quit smoking, quit alcohol, and quit any bad habits. If you observe the position of Venus with respect to Libra, it will bring balance in your life. It will bring balance with by giving energy to your mind, and you will be able to pick up yourself from difficult position, and you can start what you really want to do in life. So if you want to follow your passion, this is the time. Now if you observe the position of Venus, being in the 10th house from with respect to Kalpurush, it will impact careers of people. It would want you to be more happy in your workplace. And if you are unhappy, it is because of the negative influence of Venus in your birth chart, and which means that you would either want to change your career or you would want something out of it. Maybe you are unhappy because of the redundancy, maybe you are unhappy because you're not getting promotion, or maybe you're simply unhappy because of the work pressure. The reason can be anything, but the gist is same. And here the recommendation is that you can take a step towards growing. You can definitely take a creative step towards your career, but you need to make sure that you are following the path which is non-aggressive. I'll tell you why. Because of the exalted energies of Mars, Mars will mostly overtake the energies of Venus. So it is a Venus and Mars combination, like a warrior queen, like we see Wonder Woman kind of thing, where there is a lot of power with feminine energy. Now that is absolutely what can pull you out of misery by making you focus on a very different kind of path. Maybe it will give you alternative opportunities. But if Mars tries to dominate, it will become very strongly masculine, and that can destroy the softer nature of Venus, which in turn can hurt your relationships. Say for example, this is a time which can be difficult for already troubled marriages. Why? Because masculine energy of Mars will want you to fight. Venus is also in the fighting stance. So there is no truce here. It's more about who will win the battle. And battle are not fought in relationships. So relationships will take a hit if you are not polite enough. If you do not follow that Saturnian path, then this can pose a challenge. Another thing that will happen along with the Venus transit is the combustion of Saturn. We should not forget that second from Venus is a Sun and Saturn conjunction happening, whereas Saturn is getting combust, which means that your relationship with your father can take a hit during this time. Also, you will see that you might have to, fulfill your responsibilities more, especially if you have a weak Mars or Sun in your birth chart. So in that case, don't be troubled. These are all the output of the Venus transit in Capricorn. Another thing that will happen is that it will give you new career opportunities, especially if you're in the field of designing, if you're in the field of real estate. And in real estate, if you're in the field of Vastu, architecture, or if you are connected to, say, interior designing, So this is really going to help you in event management, in wedding planning. If you are connected to any other kind of creative field, if you are into media, if you are a film director or you are an art director in the field of editing, this is definitely going to give you a lot of positive energy. So if you are associated with any such career, it's a big thumbs up for you. And this is a time when you should focus more on meditation, because concentrated, calculated and calibrated attempts can only give you positive result, provided you are being grounded, you are polite and you're not aggressive and you're not hard hitting. If you go head on during this time, this is only going to give you victory, but a very lonely one. So think about that. To add another point, if you observe, Capricorn is a zodiac sign ruled by Saturn, and it is a zodiac sign of discipline, of structure. And when Venus goes there, your need will be to define the relationship. You would want structure and stability in your relationship, and with exalted Mars, you would want to enforce that structure in your own life and the life of people around you. That means towards the people you love, you will be more strict. You will try to be more disciplined towards them, and that may be good for them, or that may result into some intimidating behavior, or they may assume it as an intimidating behavior. So be careful there. Although when Venus goes along with Mars in this zodiac sign of Capricorn, a combination of Venus, Mars and Saturn, a beautiful combination of these three energies come together. Venus is creativity, Mars is something that results into execution, Saturn is discipline, Saturn is going slow. And if you combine all these three, it becomes a perfect energy combination that will give you success, that will make sure that you are becoming successful by following and finding new paths, alternative pathways, some beautiful workarounds, and parallelly you're not taking any rash random decision. But this is when the energies are balanced. This is also the time when you would want to go for long-term relationships. So if you want to go for long-term commitment, and if you are humble, if you have thought it through, you can definitely think about it, provided your horoscope allows. And another take is that Capricorn has a lot of energies of Mars, Saturn and Sun. And when it combines with Venus, which gives you name, fame and success, this movement of Venus will give you a lot of success, will give you new opportunities where you can become famous. So for the fame, it's a very good combination. But again, I will repeat, fame should come by being humble, and fame should not, be observed, or it should not be achieved by impractical, immoral means, because that is very common nowadays. So think about that. If you are becoming famous, you have a responsibility. But yes, this conjunction is really good for someone who is into the media. I have already told that, because it can give you a lot of fame, success, name, and your identity will expand and your aura will become much more positive. Aries. For Aries, it is going to impact your career, it is going to impact your financial security, and it would want you to take over and control that area of life. Although it is a very good time, but if you force it, it can damage your marriage. So don't be very dominating in nature during this time. Although it's a very good time to love your career and follow your passion, and also something good will happen with your career. You will get an opportunity that you really wanted from a very long time. So it's a big positive boost for Aries ascendant and Aries moon sign people. Just that you can have sleepless nights, you can really become very aggressive, and you will love your career so much that you can forget that you have a family. So work-life balance has to be maintained for Aries ascendant. Taurus. For Taurus, if you observe, Venus in Capricorn is more like your ascendant lord. And when it goes in the 9th house, it opens the dharma quotient for you. And this means that if you focus on chanting, if you focus on a lot of meditation and focus on your lifestyle, it can change your destiny, and you will be able to maneuver in your life in a very positive manner. It is your 6th lord coming in the 9th house, new career opportunity, especially job opportunities will come. This can also create conflict within your employees, so have a cordial relationship with them. You fulfill your duty and dharma if you are running a company. Travel opportunities will happen, especially foreign related opportunities is possible for a lot of people, especially who are in the Venus related field, and people who are involved in graphic designing, fashion designing, interior designing, or any other kind of designing where Venusian energy, which is the front end thing, is more in the prominence. You will become more successful. But while you are taking that trip, be careful about that extra expenses that might come in during this time. But overall, it's a very good time. It's kind of opens your luck. It kind of brings in people who will support you. But you will see that circumstances might dominate a bit during this time. What you will have to do is just have patience and keep moving. Gemini. Now, in case of Gemini, Venus will be in the 8th house. Now, this can be a little difficult for you, although it's a Viparit Rajyo, your 12th Lord coming in the 8th house. But if you see, 6th Lord is also in the 8th house. Now, 6th Lord is Exalt, which means you may have to forcefully travel, relocate, move, and take certain steps that will change your life, but that may be a little bit unpleasant for you. This can also create challenges in relationship. If I see this as a whole, what it wants you to do is, it wants you to maintain your dignity, maintain your self-respect, and focus on positive lifestyle. This can disturb you a little, but what you should do is you should focus more on, a non-indulgent lifestyle, more focused towards dharma and more focused towards finding that stability. A good time to initiate a change in your life, but a bad time to initiate a change in your personal and relationships perspective, which can really go for a toss if you put in a lot of energy there. So, sometimes we do too much for the people whom we love. Sometimes excess of anything is bad, and sometimes that excess can destroy the relationship. Think about it. Cancer. For Cancer Ascendant, if you observe, Venus will be in the 7th house. This is the time when you will be very happy and joyful in the marriage and relationship. But again, Mars being there in an exalted position shows that you are more occupied with your marriage. Maybe you are working together with your spouse. Maybe things are happening in your spouse's life and you are doing too much. Enjoy this process, because if you don't enjoy this process, then it will become difficult for you to adjust to the circumstance. Your 11th Lord is in 7th house. This gives you opportunities where you will gain a lot of things in your business. So if you have a business empire, it's a very good time for you. But in relationship, you need to calm down. You need to stay grounded. Otherwise, this can really pose challenges. An exalted Mars in the 7th along with a combust sun in the 8th house can create insecurities and rift with your father-in-law. Also, if you're not married, if you're not employed, you need to take care of your health and you need to remain grounded and channelize your energies, because this can have your energies all over the place. Use this Venus to come out of depression, come out of negative energy by chanting the positive mantras. Leo. Now, in case of Leo Ascendant, if you observe, this is the time when Venus will be in your 6th house. This can be really difficult for relationship perspective, and because Venus rules your career as well as your 3rd house, you should be very careful how you are communicating with your supervisors, how you are communicating with your bosses, because 6th house Venus do not really perform well unless you focus more on the service side of life, focus more on the service industry, focus more on helping other people rather than jumping into conclusion. Don't be too judgmental during this time, because your sun is also going to go in combustion in the 7th house. So, this can be a little bit challenging for certain people, obviously not for everyone. The best thing is that if you meditate and focus on Bhagwan Shiv and chant Om Namah Shivaya and delay few things which can be delayed and be careful for the other things, it will be great for Leo Ascendant natives. And when I say Leo, I mean in general I am speaking on for the Leo. Things will change depending upon your horoscope. People who have very powerful Venus, for them it will be neutral. But if you have a negative Venus in your chart, you should focus on Venus Bij Mantra and resolving issues through horoscope. Virgo. Now, in case of Virgo, Venus will be in the 5th house. Now, this is a very good position for Venus and Mars. This brings in new opportunities for relationship with respect to romance, love. This is going to give you new dimensions. So, if you are already having a bad relationship, it's a good thing, because this will create new spark. It will give you new opportunities wherein you will be able to do something in relationship, something that is positive, something that is constructive. With respect to children also, you will see that you will feel very happy and you will be very active, maybe because of things happening in your life with respect to marriage or things happening in your life with respect to your children. This is also going to make you more productive. It will give you more and better output in your life. So for Virgo Ascendant, it's really a very good time, especially because with respect to family life, financial security, it will make you satisfied. So it's a very satisfactory Venus transit for you. Overall, for Virgo, what you should do is because 5th house is house of mantra, take a mantra and keep chanting that mantra at least 11,000 times if possible during the Venus transit in Capricorn. One thing, extra expenses will be on the cards. Maybe you are trying to be more productive, and to be more productive you are infusing money, especially if you run a business. Be careful there. Libra. Now in case of Libra Ascendant, if you observe, your Ascendant Lord is in the 4th house, and this 4th house Ascendant Lord is with 7th Lord Mars. So it shows that different aspects of life will fuse together during this time. So don't be confused if one responsibility kinds of overlaps into the other and kind of overwhelms you. It is the time when you have to be very happy. You will be happy in your place, but you know there will be also responsibilities on top of your head. So what you should do? Enjoy every bit of this moment, because if you don't enjoy, it is only going to become more and more challenging. Mars exaltation in the 4th house along with Venus shows that whatever tensions you had with your mother or about her health, it will become a little bit normal and it will slowly become better. And because its influence carries forward to the 10th house, it's very good time for your career, especially for someone who is into real estate, especially for someone who works from home, who works in interior, who works in designing, who works in chemical industry, who works in energy sectors, who works in UI and UX designing, software development. It's a very good time for you. Venus is also, if you observe, your 8th Lord, and because Venus is 8th Lord and it goes in the 4th house, there are higher chances you renovating your house, redeveloping, redoing things. You are going to break your plans and remake them. All that will happen. Just ensure that you're not wasting your energy, but you're being productive. Simultaneously, you are also enjoying the luxuries of life. It is a very good time to be in the present. Don't worry too much about the future. Just focus on the present, and you will see overall this Venus will give you much more than you have anticipated. For people who are not involved in their careers, this can be a time to think more about your own happiness, because Venus will drag the focus to your own happiness, to your own existence, and you might question, why am I like this? Where am I? Am I really happy? Now that's a good question to ask, but don't sit on the question, find a solution. Scorpio. Now for Scorpio, Venus transit will be in your 3rd house. When Venus goes in the 3rd house, it really is a good and creative transit. It will make your speech, it will make your communication, it will make your lifestyle very fancy and very productive and very happy. But again, this can cause a lot of indulgence. You might be high on your power and you might take certain steps that can damage things. Remember, if Ascendant Lord is Mars, which is exalted in the 3rd house, your 12th Lord Venus is associated with this. That means you can do self-inflicting harm. You can harm your own self by taking certain measures, by deciding on things where you can jump into conclusion, you can be judgmental, so don't do that. The more humble you are, the better your life will be. The more positive you are, the better your life will be. But don't be too over enthusiastic during this time, because this might give you an opportunity where you are too over enthusiastic. You started something with a lot of joy and emotions, but you will not be able to carry it forward. See the feasibility of it, see the practical side of it. However positive it may seem, if it is not possible, then it is not possible. Sagittarius. Now in case of Sagittarius, if you observe that Venus transit will be in your 2nd house. A 2nd house Venus transit is very good for family union. Positive things will happen in your family. Something auspicious will happen in your family. There is an exalted Mars, so we can see auspicious expense related to your joy, your happiness. You might do a lot of things that you like, but don't go overboard. This might go into like over expense and you might regret later on. Because there is a Sun and Saturn in the 3rd house, you might go over shopping. you might overspend in shopping because you are feeling underconfident. Someone might say something about your looks or something about your existence, and you will end up redoing your entire stuff, redoing your life just because of one comment. Don't do that. Be very practical in your approach. Now, this is the time when you will see that you might change your home, you might focus more on being more creative about your career, and this will give you better financial security. So overall, it's a very loving time. It will bring harmony, peace and love in your family. Capricorn. Capricorn will see Venus transit in your first house. How beautiful this is. Your 10th lord is in first house, which means you will love your career. You will be more occupied in your career and you will see good opportunities there. Your reputation will increase. You will love how people praise you, and all that will make you really in a high place. 5th lord Venus is also in the first house. With this exalted Mars, everything is good about you. You will love your looks. You can work on yourself. You can work on your physique, on the aesthetic sense of life. And that will be one big opportunity that you're getting this time. But you will always find that you are lacking the resources. So don't crave for the resource, that what if I would have that object, or what if that opportunity was with me. What you have right now with you, make the best use of it. Because if you will wait for something, then that thing will never come because of the combustion of Saturn in the 2nd house. This is also the time when you might try to mimic somebody. You might try to see an Instagram post and try to be somebody. Don't be somebody. Create the best version of you during this time. Mars and Venus conjunction in the 1st house is a really powerful conjunction, especially if it can create passion in marriage, passion in relationship. But you must make sure that you're not dominating and also thinking about your partner. You're being considerate there. Otherwise, it's a beautiful transit. It's a transit that will make you not only happy in your workplace, but also it will make you very happy within yourself. Just make sure that you're not being too unhappy with yourself just because you have seen somebody better than you. Aquarius. Now for Aquarius, Venus transit will happen in your 12th house. The 12th house Venus along with an exalted Mars can really go for extra expenses. This can mean that people will love for your work in your career, but you might be sidelined in the end. So don't have a lot of expectations in your career. Just keep doing what you're doing. Karma karo, phal ki chinta na karo. Do the karma, forget about the karma phal, that means results of the karma, is the theme of this transit. Venus in 12th house do end up making you really happy, finding the true meaning of happiness. Venus is also your 4th lord, so there will be change of property, change of home, change of place. So if you're looking for that, it's the right opportunity, right thing to do. If you want to sell your property, again, it's the right time. Maybe the property will be you can sell the property and you can do much with that. Overall, I see that being in the 12th house, this means that you will love being in isolation and you will be able to pull yourself out and be in your own space. Just ensure that this own space is a positive space and you're not drinking and enjoying that own space, because that's not worth it. Pisces. Now in case of Pisces ascendant, Venus transit will happen in your 11th house, and 11th house Venus with an exalted Mars is a really, really good time. See, this is the time when Venus in the 11th house gives you gains. It fulfills your wishes. So the power of manifestation comes to you. So try to manifest positive things during this time, because if you manifest negative, then you will be at loss. Now when Venus and Mars are there in the 11th house, Sun and Saturn is in the 12th house. That means there can be situations where you will be given what you want, but in return the cost that you will have to pay is very high. The cost is too high and can make that gain not worthy. So think about that and always be in a position where you can justify your actions, because if you can't justify, because Mars enthusiasm and passion can push you, but the Sun and Saturn in the 12th house can take away the charm from it. So be there, try to balance your life, and overall you will see a lot of positive growth during this time. Overall, if I see Venus transit for Pisces, I will only give it thumbs up. It gives you power of manifestation. You will love your life, you will love what you are gaining. Just make sure that you're also sharing and not being too proud, but rather being grounded.